How do I understand the visa officer's psychology while he considered my application and then rejected it? And also, can I re-represent my study visa application immediately after my rejection?
Okay, so we started with a fairly disappointing kind of a question where a person has a visa rejection. But I want to start with something more positive. As I would say that before we get into this issue about a rejection, let's talk about making a first application as a good one. That's extremely important, and historically I've seen in these so many years and so many years of practice that the approval rates tend to be far better in the first application than rather than redoing an application and getting an approval again. So I think it should be taken as a serious step from stage one itself when you're preparing an application, because the thought process usually is that all you need to do is go through a checklist and compile the documents and present it. And in that process, though you may get it right that okay, the right set of documents, the application looks nice, but you may not have addressed some serious concerns that a visa officer usually has when he's making an assessment of an application, and that is key. And that kind of a knowledge sometimes doesn't just come through practice alone. There is you need to understand the law, you need to understand how the system works, and that is where I always tell people that deal with a person, seek guidance from a person who's approved for that purpose. And Canada actually has a policy which says that a person, they have a policy in fact which says that if a person is not licensed according to the system and who's not a regulated consultant, should not be giving this kind of an advice, because very often it can be incorrect. And if it's incorrect, they can have no recourse to any kind of regulation coming into play. So we have a body called CICC, which is College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants. So they license people like us, and we understand application which is beyond simply compiling an application and presenting it the right way. So the likelihood of getting a visa is always higher in the step one itself, your first application. Now coming to the question which you brought in about a visa getting rejected. So, there can be various reasons. There are various reasons, and it's difficult for me to analyze and say that why a visa would get rejected. Every case has its own issues, his own peculiar circumstances. So they all need to be understood in a very effective way. There is no one-size-fits-all kind of a situation, and we need to analyze that in full detail to understand why the visa may have got rejected. So complete analysis of what the letter which came through as a rejection letter, we need to analyze what the causes were, what the reasons were, to really understand that. And based on analysis of that, it may be possible, and I very often do advise students based on the information which was in his file. I need to see all the documents, and we need to see all the documents which are presented and what was presented to the visa officer. Based on that, I would always advise students that if there is an opportunity and I feel there's an opportunity to improve, which very often I've seen, many people come with refusals to us and who applied through various on their own or through various other agencies. When we analyze, we feel there is always some shortcomings, and you definitely can go ahead and make another application. But another application doesn't mean compiling the same documents and presenting again. You need to address the issues which were there in the letter of refusal.